Hey y'all, Barley here. Welcome to another episode of OnAir Heavy Metal. There we're combining OnAir and Microsoft Flight Simulator, along with the toughest rules we could possibly put on ourselves, and restricting us to only turbojets, is the way we're going to play. So last time we did our first level mission, and that got us to level 2. Now today we're going to do a multi-leg flight to go to level 3. So what does that look like? Switching over to the pending job screen, you can see that we have this level mission. That's what the little trophy means, right? Must be flown by a human. It has at least one leg. When it's up here, it means there's at least one leg. This could be flown by AI, but there's really no reason, since the second leg has to be flown by a human, and then I'd have to transport myself out there. And I found this, I went and searched for and found a fragile cargo job, so that at least something pays for my gas when I go from KFBG back to RDU, and that's when I want to hand the plane over to an AI and let them go on a 14-hour duty cycle and go make some money. So to bring anybody up to date who doesn't remember, didn't see last episode, we also added in passengers and hiring. So it allows me to hire AI and carry passengers. This time what we're going to do is we're flying the whole route, and then I'm going to try to, while in the air, find an AI pilot to add to our crew. And I may even add 2, I don't know yet, but 1 for sure. And we're going to complete this multi-leg job. And for the on-air video, for this video, I'm going to greatly truncate the flights so that you don't have to watch. It'll be 1, 2, 3 30-minute flights. They're short, but if you're just interested in the on-air stuff, you won't have to sit through takeoff, cruise, landing, all that kind of stuff. If you want to see the full flights, I record them all and I put them under the on-air flights playlist. So if you want to watch the complete flights, they're there for you. And if you don't, just watch this video for the on-air stuff. So let's get started. So we need to go ahead and bring up our aircraft, which is just the 208 that we picked up 2 episodes ago. We say we're taking it flying. That's the prepare. And as you can see, the stuff to load is 517 pounds of cargo and 6 first-class passengers. And if you look here, it'll tell you 6 of 9 of our first-class seats are there, so we have 3 first-class seats available. And we could carry another 1,500 pounds, and it looks like we're restricted by the payload, so it wouldn't matter. We won't need 400 pounds of fuel for this first leg, going to KTTA, which is Raleigh Regional, or Raleigh Executive, sorry. So we could probably cut that fuel by 100 pounds or so, but it won't matter because we're restricted by the payload, the 3,077 pounds we can carry. With that in mind, we need to do some flight planning. So bring up my flight planning screen. First thing I always do is I'm going to check the meters at the airport we're going to. Wind is 0 knots, so a calm day. Then check my route, and I put all this stuff in beforehand so keep the video as succinct as possible. So that's the route we're going to be flying. It's a whole 23 nautical miles. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I check the NOTAMs, Notice to Airmen, for each of the airports. Those are up here. So if you use SkyVector, you put in the airport, and then the top left is where your NOTAMs are, and you can see if there's any taxiways closed or anything else that you have to worry about. This is at RDU, where we're starting from. Other than that, this is mainly military stuff. I don't care about Terminal 1. I'm not using a terminal. It looks like Foxtrot 2 and Foxtrot 5 are closed until further notice. And I don't have any of these wingspan things to worry about. We aren't anywhere near 118-foot wingspan. So no NOTAMs to worry about. Other remarks, scan, close to airships. Yeah, I don't have a blip. Won't be an issue. Now we go to where we're landing, do the same thing. Runway 3 for calm wind runway. That's important to know. So we will be landing runway 3 since wind was 0. So we're all set. I think we've got the information we need. We just need to go ahead and make sure we have enough fuel. So we'll use SimBrief for that. We're going from RDU to KTTA. And it's okay. Let's do new flight. It might have all the information or something because it didn't. Okay. And we don't need an alternate. We're going to use. Where is it? Oh, no. Yeah. All of that is fine. We don't need contingency fuel for a beautiful day and a short flight. We also don't need that much extra fuel. We have 6 passengers and how much cargo? 517. We're going to go direct. There we go. That gets rid of that. All looks good. Making sure I didn't miss anything else. Okay, we're going to let it generate the flight. And if you didn't know, SimBrief is free. You just need a Navigraph account. You don't need a subscription, but you have to have an account. Okay, we just need to verify that our route is what we expected, which is RDU. They're saying 23 left is in use. We haven't gone to Addis yet, so don't know. And direct to KTTA, they're saying 21. But on a calm day, it should be 3. We'll see what happens. Either way, we're going to have more than enough fuel. Really short flight. I think the plane has like 400 pounds on it right now in fuel, and way more than we're going to need. All right. If we wanted to look at the, not the ATC, well, that'll be pretty simple, but no, the briefing preview. So there's 2 ways you can get your fuel. You can look on the load sheet. 370 pounds is what they say we need. So let's make sure we have that. We do. We have 400, so we have more than enough. Now it's go flying time. We're going to start at RDU. And we're not going to put anything in for the arrival because then it'll file an IFR flight plan, and we don't need that. They said 23 left. Without Addis, we don't know. Because that's 23 right. If we're going to take off 23 left, we want to be up here. Otherwise, we're going to have to taxi, and then Foxtrot 2 and 5 are up here, so be careful. But they're thinking it's going to be 23 right. Sometimes it knows. So why don't we just start up here, and we might have to taxi down there. Waste of fuel, but whatever. So we'll set that as our departure. We won't set an arrival. We'll go flying. Then on the OnAir stuff, we have 400 pounds more than we need. Everything's loaded that we want. We don't need to verify anything, I guess. So we're going to do flying out -10, 1500. That's going to be 5, yeah, that's 5 a.m. No. Let's try, that's 8 a.m., that'll be fine. Okay, so it's going to, there we go. All green check marks, connected. I'm not going to start tracking yet. I just need to go verify that the aircraft looks the way I expect. And before we start tracking, I want to check Addis to see what our active is going to be for startup. Get this out of the way. So we'll just use ground power. And, oh, it yells because fuel valves aren't open. That's fine. And Addis. Yeah. Okay, so it does know that. KRDU. Charts. Taxi. I just need the airport info. Thank you. You go away. 123.8.
Molly airport information. Kilo 2000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 19er. Dew point, 10. Altimeter, tree 0.20. ILS runway 23 right and ILS runway 23 left in use. Landing and departing runway 23 right and runway 23 left.
Yes.
VFR aircraft.
So it could be
direction of
either
flight.
runway.
All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Kilo.
Kilo. Okay, information Kilo. So we're done with all that mess. Put everything back in a pre-flight mode, and then make sure that all our planning is done. That's done. That's done. That's done. I think we're ready to say start tracking. All right, we have the green tracking light. Aircraft is good. We need to set a couple things once we get through pre-flight. All right, all switches are off or normal. This can be closed. All switches are off. Lights are off. Right, time to set up the pedestal. Emergency lever is normal. Throttle off. RPM's high. Fuel condition is cut off. Flaps are up. Trim is set to take off. Go to the roof. I hit the right button. Open up our fuel. And then we turn on our beacon. The thing I forget so many times. And then we can kick on our battery, our fuel pump to boost, avionics, and we're ready to kick the pig. Consider the pig picked. Pig kicked. My 3 that I care about. Watching NG. At 12, add fuel, which is now.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the
Now I'm
engines.
watching ITT to make sure it does not end up near that red area. And as usual, I'm going to speed up the flight portions of these videos. If you want to see the full flights, those are in the On-Air Flights playlist. Otherwise, just enjoy a 15-second half-hour flight. And as you can see from the VASI lights, I am definitely high, but long enough runway. No reason to get worried. There we go. It'll be just fine. No wind. We'll have to float down the runway a little bit. Not a big deal.
Landing time log.
Alright. Get around this taxi light. And it's in the middle of the freaking taxiway. Alright. Done with that. Announce clear runway.
Kilo Tango Tango Alpha Traffic Barley 01 is clear of the runway.
Now I could taxi all the way back to the parking area, but On-Air doesn't care. So as long as I'm off the active, I'm okay, happy. So landing lights are off. Fuel down to fuel condition down to low idle. RPM still at high. The only light we have on is beacon. We can turn off avionics bus 2. We can turn off our fuel boost. Standby alternator. We didn't use any boost heat. Verifying that only the beacon is left on. Turn off our lights. And the only thing left is for On-Air, I want to record the exact amount of fuel I had left. So that's over here. 287 pounds. We started with 400, so we used 113 pounds. Alright, so now that I know that, back into here and let's shut down.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Yes, I am aware. Go away. There we go. 13-minute flight. Now we check OnAir for what it thought of my flight. Now remember, this is a multi-leg. And you know, there's something else I forgot to show you guys. We'll do that here, though. You want to maximize the amount of money you make on each, even on, I guess I was, yeah, so I was definitely fast at landing, but not dangerously. So only 79 knots isn't terrible. That is that's a good minus 159. That's not bad. 1.02 Gs. Nobody got shook up by that. I mean, yeah, I came in high and hot. But we got all of our bonuses. We just didn't get one for a great landing because we weren't below 70 knots. Whatever. Everything else looks good. We didn't get dinged for anything. We just didn't get a bonus for buttery landing. That's okay. So the next thing, what I was thinking about showing you, or wanted to show you, and just forgot while we were doing that, because we made zero money on that. We won't get paid for the level flight until we get to KFBJ. But was at each leg, when you're doing a level flight or a multi-leg flight, is look for additional jobs. So we're gonna do that for this next one. So let's go to the logistics center, because all we have left is KTTA to KFBJ. Let's see if we can find something there. So KTTA, KFBG to a specific airport. So it's basically saying we're going from here to a specific airport, right? And I had done this search earlier, but let's just make sure. Yeah. So now what we have to do is we have to set up our aircraft to fly so that we can see what weight we have on it. This one, yes. The only aircraft we have. Should be easy. So we're going to we're going to load that and that, because these two are what. So this cargo is at KTTA, but it's because we brought it here and we don't want to pick it back up, and you can't. I don't know if it tells you why, but no. We're getting another 6 passengers and another 497 pounds of cargo. And we will do the rest of our flight planning. Right now I just want to see how much weight we're going to put in it before we go to sim brief. So we have 1565 available. So that means out of the expensive stuff, we can't take this because it's 8 first class passengers and we only have 3 seats left. So we can't take that job. That would be the big payout. This one we can take. It's fragile. Has to be flown by a human. I'm going to fly that anyway. It's 966 pounds. So we are going to take that. And then it should show that once we... Oh, you have to refresh it somehow. There it is. We want to add everything. Now we have 599 pounds left. Let's see if we can find any... Oh, we have to be careful because we're going to need more fuel than that. Let's put 325. Okay, but fuel isn't the concern. That's right. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, I could stick 400 in here, and this isn't going to change because it's the actual total payload that we're restricted by. So 599. Let's find anything. There it is. 586. Cargo take. And we'll refresh. Just load all. There we go. We have to do it for each one. I mean, everything. There we go. We have 13 pounds available for cargo. I'm not going to go searching for a 13-pound cargo. So now we have 2,049 and 6. So let's go to here. New flight. This is from KTTA to KFBG. Make sure I got that airport right. KFBG, I did. We are still flying the Cessna. We still did not need an alternate. do not need contingency fuel. And 30 minutes is fine. Freight was 2049. Yeah. And 6 passengers. Oh no, 6 passengers. There we go. And we're gonna go. DCT. Okay, yeah. Going direct again. It's gonna be a VFR. This is strictly to get a fuel calculation. That's it. Just to make sure we have enough fuel. Okay, so that's all in. Everything looks good. The right aircraft, the right places, no alternates. Generate. Alrighty. Load sheet says 322, so let's put in 322. That means our payload's good. We've got all of our cargo loaded. We're going to go ahead and validate so that they can go start shoving things on the and people on the airplane. And then for us, we want to go check KFBG if there's any NOTAMs that we need to care about. Don't see anything that particularly concerns me. Prior approval, but that's in real life. Not, so the game has no way to ask for that, so not going to worry about it. So this one for our backup nav is going to be off of the Fayetteville VOR, which is 114.85. The 101 rad. And 9.3 DME. Okay. Let's check the neat tires for KFBG. That's not how you spell that. And looks like we got a 4-knot wind. So we should be landing 060 or landing runway 6 or 9. Sorry, runway 9, and then runway 9 is 086. Okay, I think we have enough information to do some damage. Here, we normally would check the weather, but KFBG is here, and we're flying to here. It's all green in this area. Blue skies, nothing to worry about. So weather isn't going to be a factor. We have our flight briefing that told us how much fuel. I really don't need it for a navlog. This is a straight up flight. And actually, we're going from here to there first. We're on the second leg, not the third leg. So yeah, we're going from Raleigh Executive to KFBG. Then we'll be going on the last one. This last one is where I'll try to do some on-air stuff, like hire my AI pilot, because at least I think there'll be enough cruise time. But we're going east. We're going to do 3,500 for our altitude, VFR. So let's go ahead and back to the main menu with you. We need to go to here. Everything looks good. We do not want it is now 1600 minus 10 would be 6 a.m. We don't want that. Let's do there 7 would be fine. I'm flying during the day with you. I don't mind flying at night, but you know, you guys have more stuff to look at, I guess, if it's daytime and easier to see. If I do some flights later, I'll do 1 or 2 at night. Why not? Okay, so we want to fly now. Everything looks good. Alrighty. So now we'll go to the simulator. We need to depart from KTTA. And it says the wind is 070 at 2 knots. So yeah, we are definitely taking off from runway 3. We'll do it from ramp 8 parking. Go fly. Beautiful day. And we haven't even started tracking yet, but we will. And if you guys are wondering what I'm using, if you're not following along with the on-air episodes, heavy metal episodes, I'm using OnAir to give me my flight. So if you're just watching through the flight playlist, and now you understand why I'm looking at this and all these other things that are going on. It's a really good career add-on app that I'm doing a whole series on. All right, KRDU, KTTA, no, that's the old one. We don't have our new flight. Will be to KFPG. There we go. So that gets all of those up. It's basically all I care about is these two things. This is the one we're starting at. There we go. 029. Good. That's all good information. All right. What else am I missing before we start the pre-flight? I think I have everything. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So to hire, I think I have enough time. To hire an AI, you go to the world, hire employees, brings this screen up, and we need pilots, and we only care about single engine turboprop land and multi-engine turboprop land. So we'll say, hey, you have to have at least that, and then let's find somebody who has good punctuality, right? And then find somebody who's punctual and stress resistant. This looks the best right here. The difference in pay is irrelevant. The amount of money these people make for the company flying aircraft is so significant that the difference between $400 or $500 a week is irrelevant to get a better pilot who's on time and doesn't freak out if there's clouds over the runway. So we're going to look at Miss Wozniak here.
Marley 01 contact Fayetteville approach on 125.175. Good day.
Multi-engine turboprop land, and
Going to 125
that's
decimal
she's got everything we need. Heck, even if we decide to do some sort of a sea operation, she can handle it. So that's going to be her home. We're going to go ahead and hire her. There's our AI pilot.
Marley 01 Fayetteville approach altimeter 30.20.
Now we're going to go back to here, and we are under 20 miles. That's all we're going to get done there. So let's go to the tracking page, and let's contact KFBG. Flaps are confirmed all the way down. Speed is a little high, and so are we. But that's gonna get fixed right about here. There we go. Speed's coming down. There's 70. Just in time. little bit of a left crosswind, nothing serious. Alright, now just flare.
Landing time
Nice.
logged.
Nice. Reverse.
Barley 01 exit runway when able.
Yes, ma'am. Flaps up. Landing lights off.
Barley 01 contact ground on 121.9er.
Yes, ma'am, I normally would, but we're going to go ahead and park here.
121
Oh. What the?
decimal
No.
niner for Barley 01.
Parking brake. Not escape key. All right. All lights are off except for the beacon. Avionics 2 is shut down. Fuel pump is off. Alternator's off. Standby alternator. We didn't use any lights. It's good. Nothing else. We didn't use heat. I think we're okay. So all I want to know is what was my fuel usage for this flight. That won't tell me. I just clicked on the same thing. Yeah, there we go. We had 208 pounds left. Alright, so now we can shut down.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Yay, level 3. We just finished the level mission. Of course, we made some money on this flight, too. And finishing the level mission was our big goal. I don't know what that notification is supposed to be about, but anyway. Let's see. If we go battery first, then Microsoft won't kick it. Oh, yes, it still will. I'm turning things off. And all right. I don't know what that notification is, but it can go away. You can go away. Everything is off that's supposed to be off. We can now turn the beacon off. There we go. Aircraft is secure. Bye-bye. So let's send that back to the main menu. Let's get back to OnAir. What did they have to say? A very smooth landing. Yes, I agree. And there's all the jobs we finished. Why won't you go down here? Okay, you're not going to show me, are you? I think it's related to that somehow. It's frozen. I would like to go down there and look. No? Because I mean, everything's frozen? Or is it stuck on something? Well, what happened? It's thinking. I better have registered that flight. And what is... Okay, that's fine. There's nothing else that would be in the way. Can't click OK. Okay. Well, I need it to register the flight, so I'm going to wait on whatever it's doing. Looks like this notification kind of freaked it out. Maybe I'll turn those off now. Because it looks like it just didn't finish this notification and it's stuck. Well, I have no way to... Okay. Was that what you were busy doing? Waiting for a chime? Really? Seriously? Whatever. Okay, so yes, we obtained all of our bonuses and got an extra 5% for a soft landing. We got paid $1,300, $850, and $19,300. So 23 grand? 22? Yay, us. Okay. So that finished our level trip. The next level trip is going to be probably from RDU, I would imagine. We can go look. If we go to pending. It goes from KRDU to KDAN to K. So it's a multi-leg again. So we go to KDAN to KRSJ to KSOP. Yeah. And that'll get us to level 4. But we're not going to do that in this episode. This episode was about this 3-leg trip, and that was it. We hired our AI pilot. So on this next flight, I'm going to show you how I would set up in the air, use cruise time to do strategic stuff. So I'm going to build her work order while we're at cruise. Hopefully it's a long enough cruise. Now, this job I had just picked out because I was looking for anything that went from KFBG to KRDU. So we're going to take this job for sure. And that's what we're going to use to start our flight. Yes. There we go. So there's that. And we have 3,000 pounds left to do something with if we can find any jobs. So let's go to Logistics Center, KFBG, BG, and going to KRDU. See if we get lucky and there's another job we can pick up. And there is. Additional $1,300 for 638 pounds. We can definitely take that. I mean, have to pull a spreadsheet out. Okay, but that's everything that was there. Okay, so let's refresh this. But we made going home a little more profitable. Okay, now we do sim brief. We already know the weather's fine. We know what, since we came from RDU, we already know that they're using 2-3 right and left. We are going definitely VFR. We've seen the weather. Cessna 308, 208, whatever it is. We do not need contingency fuel. 30 minutes reserves is fine. Passengers is 6. I don't remember how much cargo. It was 892 pounds. Hello. Thank you. Appreciate your cooperation. We are going direct. You are correct, sir. It's learning. Alright, I think we can generate the flight with that. And what I'm really concerned with, these aren't complicated flights, and there's no reason to go IFR, is I want my block fuel, 351. Yes, thank you. There we go. Because range with 30 minutes reserves is 78 nautical miles, and we've got to go 45, so we've got a nice little buffer. So with that in mind, I think that's everything we care about. We can validate fuel and payload. We can go into the simulator, send our aircraft to KFBG. And since we're doing VFR, we're not putting in an arrival. And then since the wind is coming from basically like this, we won't be taking off on 27, we'll be taking off on 09. You know, why would you take off with the wind? I think you are wrong if you look at the wind. You are wrong. We want this one. If not, this can be a really long taxi. Okay. So while that's doing what it's doing, this is still doing what it was doing. We don't need to do anything with that doing. Oh, and of course you get to hear my wife's terrierist bark, because that's all he does. While we wait. Our apron agents are working very hard. Okay, aircraft is in the right place. Set up our charts. We can unload that one. Really, unload. Okay, new flight. We're gonna go from KFBG. Whoop, G. KRDU. That's all we need there. That gets us our 2 airport diagrams. Let's just load this one up for now. And we will tune that in once we have power to the aircraft, so that we can figure out if we're really going to be taking off down 09. Okay. charts are set. This is all fly, 10 hours. 1626 would put me at 626. No, I don't think so. That'll put me at 826. Let's fly like more like middle of the day now. All right, fuel is good. All right, got all green check marks. We're good there, so let's start trekking. Got our green dot. Let's go to the simulator. All right, so where are we on the airport? We're here, which of course has, we have to go over to Juliet and then taxi down the runway because there's no taxiway to get to there. So yeah, Juliet and then turn around. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's go do the on-air stuff while we're in cruise, with little else to do for a while until we get to 20 miles from RDU. We don't really need to do much else. All right. So to the on-air stuff. So we need two things. Hopefully, we need to create a work order for her for this aircraft. So the way you do that, there's a lot of different ways to do it. You could go to aircraft. And then somewhere, I think it's here, work orders. And it will say there aren't any for this. Of course not. So we'll just add a work order. The pilot will be, oh, that's because we have to say where it's coming from. Okay, RDU, so it knows. There we go. Miss Wozniak. And now we need to go find, oh, because she's going to do these, remember she's going to do the level mission, so they were already there. So there's that load. And different than the other screen, while you're in the work order, it'll show you your total weights, right? And here you can use the recommended fueling. It will honor whatever it tells you you need. It doesn't know where we're going yet, so we're going to KDAN. So we have to tell it that. KDAN. And it says we need at least 53.2, right? Well, you want to check what does fuel cost at RDU. $5, that's pretty good for jet. What about the next FBO? It's cheaper. So actually, we'll just take exactly what we need, maybe a gallon more, right? And then we've still got like 1,500 pounds we could use. So let's see if there are more jobs from KRDU to KDAN. Let's load her up, right? One thing I will recommend you do, especially if you're doing this kind of planning while in the air, is hit the save button anytime you make a change. Because if you go away from this screen and you didn't save it, you get to start over. Ask me how I know. Alright, so there are other jobs we could take. Passengers, so let's see. Where are we at? We have 3 seats left. So let's, if we can get 3 first class, that would be great. No, we'll have to take 3 ecos. First class pays a lot more, but we'll take 3 ecos. So now we refresh the payloads and we add those. Now we've got about 1,000 pounds to give. 800, because it's, yeah, about 800 pounds. Let's see if we can find something for that. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to do some precise math to see exactly how much we have. And for that, I use a very complex tool called a calculator. And it looks like the cargo weight is more an issue than total weight. So we'll just 3392 minus 4, 878 pounds is what we could take. So we can't take that one, but we could take this one. And if refresh, there we go. Now you can see that we're right up against it, but we have enough fuel, so that's all cool. All right, so we're going to save that. Then we're going to add a leg. Right? At Kdan, she has another load waiting for her. This is that level mission. So we'll take those things. Check on, let's check on our flight. Engines are all green. Trons are all green. We're still set for cruise. We're not quite inside of 20. Yeah, we're not going to get all the planning done. Okay, well, we'll get as much done as we can, right? Save. So we need...
01 contact Raleigh approach on 125.3. Good day.
HRJ says we need 62 gallons, but the fuel's cheap here. Next FBO it's not, so let's
Raleigh approach Barley 01, 5,600 feet.
do at least the next, what I think the next two segments are going to be.
Raleigh approach altimeter 30.20. Continue as planned.
We'll tanker it. Okay, I need to check the altimeter. There we go. Yeah, we're below 20 miles. Man, these flights are going fast. All right, well, I guess I need to go save this, and we'll have to come back to it. But you kind of get the idea. Is I'm going to set all this up, and I normally would have put a time in here for when I'm going to land at RDU, but since I'm going to have to finish this once I'm on the ground, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, because we need to go to the tracking page, and that's why I save. So now, even if I went to work orders, it would be there. And you can see the details. It saved everything we did. Now let's go to the tracking page and let's get ready for our approach. Normally, the cruise segments are a lot longer, but these first few level missions are extremely short. All right, let's load up RDU. The theme for today is high approaches.
American 29er 78 contact ground on 121.7. 121.7.
Well, he scooted right off the runway, didn't he? All right, there we go. Speed is good. We're high according to the PAPI lights, but I'm comfortable here.
Raleigh Tower, United 1819er, 10 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 23 left approach. United 1819er, Raleigh Tower. Altimeter 30.19er, 1309er at 4. Cleared ILS runway 23 left approach.
And flare.
Cleared ILS runway 23 left approach. United 1819er. Barley 01, turn next taxiway. Alpha 1 contact ground on 121.7.
Going to 121.7 Barley 01.
And as with the rest of my OnAir shares, I'm not going to take it all the way to the parking. I'm just going to go ahead and stop here and shut down. That's all that's necessary. But I do need to capture how much fuel I had left. Okay, one of them was on tracking. There we go. 206 is what we had
Clear
left.
to land runway 23 left United 1819er.
Alright, now we can shut down. Avionics 2. Beacon is the only thing on. Didn't use heat. I think we're ready. We're going to shut her down.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Wow, that was... Everything else is done. Battery is off. Both avionics are off. Shut down, secured. Happy, out of here. Well, what's going on with this? Okay, oh, it's analyzing the flight data. Okay, if you were just here for the three-legged flight, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. If you're here for the on-air stuff, stay tuned because we're going to go ahead and evaluate our flight and then finish up that work order. So we got a very smooth on our landing. Landing speed was good, so we should have gotten all of the bonuses. Well, why didn't? Where's my very smooth landing bonus for 5%? You cheated me. It's very smooth. You said so. But you didn't give me my 5%. Cheapskate. Okay, but everything else there were no violations, so good for us. We also made $2,000 just for a flight home. Alright. We've got $52,000 in the bank. We could lease another 208 if we needed to. I think we're going to save up for a multi-engine. We need about $70K for that, I think. We've got 2 employees, me and Miss Wisnowski, or something like that. Alright, so let's go finish up her work order. Work orders are under here. This is the other way you can get to work orders. You can go to the aircraft screen and do work orders for an aircraft, or just go to the work order screen. They'll all be here if you have multiple aircraft. Go to details and see everything we did before is still there. The stuff she's picked up at KDAN. We picked up extra fuel because the next one is not cheap. So we tankered. That leaves us with about 400 pounds. So let's see if there's anything. That won't do it. This is KDAN to KHRJ. There are no other jobs to take from there. So that leg is complete. And at the top, it'll give you totals. So 46 minutes, 55. These are still all relatively short flights. So we'll just add a leg. And how expensive is fuel at the next FBO from here? Oh, I haven't selected it yet. KHRJ. Going to KSOP. Now you can tell me. We have space left, so let's add another 50 gallons. Just go 200. Okay. We want to load both of those. We still have payload left. And it's KHRJ to KSOP. So we do J. That was helpful. KSOP. And this is building a work order. It's the same thing over and over, just hunting for things to add and making the best trip you can. 800 pounds. Can we do all 800? Yes. It's all cargo, so we don't have to worry about seats. Where's the refresh thing? Okay. Take everything, and we still had 1,000 pounds to give. The next fuel place is not great, but we've already fueled up for that. She's at 2.4 hours. The maximum duty time in a 24-hour period is 14 hours of flight time. So you just care about this counter. KSOP, there's nothing there. So we'd like her to go from KSOP to KRDU, because when she finishes this, she's going to finish the level mission. Well, we want to start a new one if we can. So let's go find out if there's anything from KSOP to RDU. Yes, there is. So we can take 4 passengers. That's a no-brainer. We do have to watch out that you don't want any of these to be human only. So you don't want to see that little pawn figure, because then you'll have to fly it. So we don't want that. Okay, so these 3 things are there, and we still have a ton of payload to use. Yeah, like 2,000 pounds. So these are ordered by pay, so we can't take this one. It's fragile goods, and that's why it pays better, but we can't take it because she can't fly that. So I think we're going to be able to put just about everything else on. So we'll take the next 2 first and see where we're at. Instead of whipping out the calculator, we'll just let it do the math. With that, we have 1,000 pounds left. Well, actually, we have 800 pounds left if you count payload. Okay, 800 pounds. And that's 433. We're good. And we just have to leave that one there. Can't do nothing about it. No, sir. Alright, so we're good here. We need to tell it where it's going. It's going to KRDU. And I already know the fuel prices are better at RDU than here, so we'll just take the bare minimum. Same thing here, yep. Okay, that's all good. So at the end of this little short trip that gets us levels, she'll have 3 hours of flight time. She's got 11 more she could do in the duty cycle. But that's all we want to put onto this work order. And we just need to remember, by writing it down, on my handy dandy scratch pad, Wozniak. 3.1 hours at the end of, what is this? Should be normally they have like a letter after them. Work order E. So there. Little note so I know how much time we burned on her. And now we activate it. Because the aircraft is at RDU, there was no warp time or anything else. It goes. There we go. Jeez. It's blue, which means it's in progress. The other way you can see what's going on, and this is how I like to track things, especially once I have 6 or 7 planes and 12, 14 crews, whatever. You just go to the live operations map. And then your work order, your planes are over here. Shows your work order in blue, which means it's running. If there was an issue, it would turn red. If it was finished, it turns green. And you can do all of your other operations from here. But it shows your planes. You can see your engine conditions and everything, fuel, all that kind of stuff. So right now, it's showing me as, so the check mark means that I have flown hours today, but I'm not resting, right? Now, your human player, if somehow you want to fly 18 or 20 hours in a 24-hour period, you go nuts. But for these guys, when you see the idling, it means that they have not started their duty cycle yet, which means they haven't flown a minute, right? Once she actually gets in the aircraft and starts flying, it'll turn to a check mark. Like next time, if she's actually waiting somewhere, like for the plane to do something, or like when this work order ends, it'll only be 3.1 hours. She'll have a check mark which says, I have some duty time, but I'm not finished. And you would just click on her, and this would change, and it would say duty cycle ends. It'll be at 22:11 UTC on or something. It'll give me a date and a time and say her duty cycle ends there. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you how many hours they have on them. You have to keep track of that yourself. But normally, this is different because we're doing level missions. Normally, you would make one work order that gives them all 14 hours, or as close to 14 as you want. You don't want to go over, or you get a fine. So normally, I build my work orders to get them to somewhere between 11.5 and 14 hours somewhere. And if I can, I try to get them home. That's not always possible. It's just not. But they understand. That's the life. So right now, the aircraft is being prepared. That will eventually change. You'll see a symbol that says the apron work is going on, and wonder how busy the server is today. Now it helps to hit the right button. That was for my company. Oof, people are flying. That is, yep. This is the busy East Coast corridor, the Dallas-Chicago corridor, and actually it looks more like today it's a New Orleans-Chicago corridor. You got a lot of stuff going over here in the desert Southwest, and then the West Coast, definitely. He's going up to Seattle. A lot of stuff going on here. Let's check out Europe. Oh yeah, people are flying in Europe. Southeast Asia, Japan. Bering Sea, and then New Zealand still because of the world updates. Cool stuff. Lots of people playing. Okay, so we'll go back. There you go. That's apron work. So basically they're loading up the passengers and the cargo, and you can get certain skills to speed those things up. And we have 2 skill points to spend. And I think the way I'm going to go, it's a little different than I did last time I played, is instead of going straight for all the FBO stuff, I think I'm going to build up my ability to generate revenue first, because you make more money off of the flights than you do off the FBO stuff. You do make money on the FBO stuff, and you save a ton of money on fuel. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight for medical jobs, and then straight for dangerous jobs, and then start the FBO stuff. That's my thought at this very second. Right now, this isn't going to really help us a whole bunch, but it gets us to their last-minute jobs, which will get us to medical jobs. But these levels come quick. There we go. So we have spent our points. We have our AI pilot, has a work order. I think that's all for now. So thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe to help me grow the channel. And Barley out.